Hello everyone, Railgan here again with another CVP. Today we're looking at a game that I played against Hellraiser where I'm trying out a new way to deal with Skytoss. Now, the new way will be a Lurker Queen Infestor composition. I saw Rogue play this on stream. I watched his stream for like 2 minutes and I saw that he played this kind of composition and I was like, well, I can do that too. So we're going to first talk about the setup, what we need at home in order to get the composition running. Then we're going to talk about the fights, the engagements, and we're also going to talk about what were the strengths, the weaknesses, and why I play Lurkers instead of Ultralisks in this game against the PROTOSS. Quick look at the PROTOSS side of things. A lot of cannons, carriers, storm, void ray. The good stuff, right? This is what we all know and hate. This is a situation you will commonly find yourself in where the Skytoss has a composition that you just do not know how to break. At home, what are we going for? I have the following upgrades. Link speed, pathogen glands, very important, so infestors start with more energy. Upgrading missile attack and carapace. Hive is just finishing. Got Hydra range, Hydra speed. I have a Lurker then. I should get my +3 carapace upgrade very soon because it's super important. I have queens at my bases. I'm defending my bases with spine crawlers as well, so I don't have to react to runbys immediately. I have at the moment 8 queens in the middle of the map. I'm expanding over here and I have lurkers in position to help me. And I also have lurkers and spore crawlers in this position to defend this space. My army composition at the moment is 5 lurkers, 8 infestors, 27 hydras. I like 8 infestors. I don't think Rogue builds that many infestors. In the one game I saw I didn't have that many. But I'm a big fan of the infestor. And my goal is to crush this space. If you look at this army and you say, well, how are you gonna kill this? Good question. We're going to see. So, how does the composition work? First of all, we need to get the queens across the map. So it takes a lot of creep spread. I'm also steadily expanding. I'm trying to take this space, immediately throw down spine crawler, spore crawler. Could have also moved these over here, would have probably been better. Important to always have a good amount of drones and units. You need a lot of bases. What we're going to do is we're going to out-eco the PROTOSS player. That is the goal. We're actually going to out-eco him. And we're going to do that with mass lurker. When I said queen lurker infestor, I also have some hydras, right? Like some hydras are never bad. But queen lurker infestor, I mean a holy lot of lurkers. We're going for 18 lurkers at the moment. I also have like 1 lurker here, 2 lurkers here. But mainly an unholy amount of lurkers that are going to push our PROTOSS space. So I'm moving my Hydralisks and queens around. Queens are still spreading creep. Of course, spore crawlers are also very nice to be used defensively. But at the moment, I'm mainly focusing on my queens pushing into the middle of the map right here. PROTOSS is expanding over here. Once again, a lot of cannons and shield batteries. Very hard to push into those spaces. I'm not really getting anything done. And we're going to see the fight very soon. I'm going to speed things up a little bit so we can get there. And we're going to see how it all works out. I'm still getting the lurker upgrades at home. My queens are now in position. I think I'm going to put some spore crawlers here as well. Exactly. Spore crawlers are very useful. They're going to be super good against all the carriers that we're facing. And we're going to see the composition in action here in a second. Now, if I were to go for an Ultralisk composition, it would be really hard to push into here because Ultralisks do less damage than a shield battery with overcharged heals. So I cannot really break this kind of entrenchment, and then he also has Templars with Storm. It's just really hard to break. But Lurkers do a lot of AoE damage in a straight line, and they're actually really good against buildings as well because they do bonus damage to armored units. Which is why I'm trying to use lurkers. So let's see how it goes. I'm looking for an opening at the top. And then what I do is I send the lurkers in first. Lurkers have to be at the front. Then you put the microbial shroud on top of the lurkers. Here I'm clumping up my units a bit too much, taking some damage. But you can see like the microbial shroud is on top of the lurkers. The queens are actually in a horrible position here. They're way too far at the back. Took some fungals, but I'm actually beating all of his interceptors because the lurkers are super tanky. Lurkers have 1 additional armor compared to other units, so like they have 1 base armor, kind of like roaches do as well. So what I'm trying to do right here is I'm trying to survive with Microbial Shroud and just lower his interceptor count. I already removed a huge amount of his cannons, and the lurkers are also really good against the High Templar and the Archons. So all my other Hydralisks were turned into lurkers and we're going in again. Alright, lurkers at the front. Microbial Shroud should come in a second. There it is. Queens are shooting away. I can also transfuse the lurkers. It's very hard to push into these narrow spaces. But you can see like my units are not really dying. They're doing a very, very good job surviving. And now I'm reinforcing with Hydralisks to keep the push going. And I'm pushing in from this angle as well. His interceptor count is at 25 right now, which is not a whole lot. And once again, keep pushing in, Microbial Shroud on my units. The queens are not dying at all. They're just slowly picking apart at the interceptors. And queens only cost minerals, so very, very gas inexpensive. Infestors going in a little bit too deep. It's hard to control. Like it's harder to control because I need to keep the infestors at the back. I want the lurkers at the front so they kill the High Templars. Need to put the Microbial Shroud down, transfuse with the queens. Like you can do a lot of things, but you can see how I'm slowly pushing into him here, and I'm able to slowly push him back. We're going to speed things up a little bit because he's now retreating. Remaking infestors at home, also getting the melee upgrade. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to build too many links, but felt like it was good. Units lost, we're actually even at this point, and I was able to take out a base that was fortified by like 10 cannons. Immediately we're going into the next fight before he can fully regroup, and we're going to try and push this base away as well. Also got a lurker flank down here to make certain that he's not expanding over there. Microbial Shroud goes down, fungal the interceptors. Fungal against interceptors does a decent amount of damage actually, and most important, it slows them down so my Hydralisks can kill them. Taking a pretty decent fight right here, but once again inside Microbial Shroud the Hydralisks and queens are doing a really good job. Now, I think I should remake more queens right in this situation. I was a bit inexperienced in this first game, but I learned that remaking queens is actually really good. So making certain he's not expanding down here. He cleaned up the lurkers with 3 zealots and the observers. Pushing him over here again. And you can see like his income, his money is actually plummeting. Like we're killing so many of his bases that he has a hard time keeping up. Pushing right into the middle. Once again, fungal on all of the interceptors. And well, he keeps losing things. Units lost, we're even. And we should assume that we can outmine the PROTOSS in a game like this. Microbial Shroud, you always want the lurkers at the front so they kill the High Templar as fast as possible. Also, I could potentially add Vipers, but it's already hard enough to control. Like, I don't want to deal with Vipers as well. But maybe I should have added some Vipers. Trying to take a fight here. Some fungals go down. Without Microbial Shroud, I really should not fight him, so I need to pay attention. I think he recalls down here, so you can start mining from this space. Took out those two. And yeah, I mean, I'm maxed out. I still have a bank. So I think I'm in a pretty decent position right here. Once again, here he comes. He only has carriers and the mothership. I have a couple too many lurkers right here. Should focus more on the Hydralisks and infestors. My queens are out of position as well. But once again, I'm able to beat him back. Even able to kill the mothership. And here I actually... Now guys, this is a bit of a Debbie Downer. I run out of Microbial Shroud and I figured, damn it, I'll probably lose this game. He's actually mined out though. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave this game here in a sec because I lose my Hydras. I had no Microbial Shroud, and with without Microbial Shroud, I cannot actually fight him back. But I think this is an interesting showcase, because I mean, he was pretty much mined out. We were able to actually push into PROTOSS bases that were fortified for once. Usually I'm not able to do that, but with the sheer mass of lurkers that I had, I was able to pressure him, which felt really nice to me. And well, the question is, what could we improve, right? I eventually lose the game here because I have no more infestors with energy. Like, I do have infestors, but I think only one has energy for no, none actually have energy. I have no Microbial Shroud, and if I had Microbial Shroud I would have probably won this fight. But without it, I just have no chance. He can't even remake Interceptors, he has so little money. Now, why do we build Hydralisks and not Corruptors? Corruptors do not benefit from Microbial Shroud, and you need a lot of upgrades for them. And the upgrades take a lot of time, so I don't like that. That's why I'm going for the Hydralisk route. Also, I feel like Hydra Lurker kind of works out more nicely for me. It's easier to play. Corruptors are super scary to play because if they clump up a bit, the Archons can kill them fast, they get stormed, Void Rays laser them away. This is a lot easier to play. Like, I F2A move, burrow the lurkers, and then I start transfusing, Microbial Shroud. It's kind of how it goes. And to go back a little bit here again. Let's have a look. Like, the first fight I took was actually kind of bad. It's really hard to push into these narrow spaces, but it's also a hard map to play this style on. I think like a map like Romanticide would probably be a lot easier, where you actually have a little bit more space. But even then, it actually worked out pretty well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little hero crafting session here, where we show a new build that I kind of copied from Rogue, and hope this will help me in my CVP late game adventures against PROTOSS. Trying out one strategy at a time until I find one that actually works. If you enjoyed, feel free to comment, give me your advice. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice day. See ya.